Welcome back to 6th grade math. Today we are talking about rational numbers. Our goals for this video are to represent a rational number as a point on a number line, graph a rational number on a number line, and use a rational number to describe a quantity in a real-world situation. Before we get started, let's review our integers and how to graph. So remember that negative numbers are found to the left of 0 on a number line and positive numbers are found to the right. So -4 is going to be 4 spaces to the left of 0. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. -1 is going to be 1 space to the left of 0. And 3, positive 3, is going to be 1, 2, 3 spaces to the right. There we go. So a rational number is any number that can be expressed as a fraction. Below are some examples. Any whole number is going to be a rational number because you can just put that whole number over 1 and it is a fraction. 0.5 or 0.50, a decimal, any decimal you can represent as a fraction, even if it was 432, 0.432. That is 432 over 1,000. And you could simplify that down, but that can be represented as a fraction. And then even if you have a repeating decimal, that can also be written as a fraction. So to identify the coordinate of a point on a number line, first determine the value of each tick mark. We talked about this a little bit in the last video. So for this number line, okay, we are going from, they are showing us our whole numbers, 0, 1, 2, -1, -2. Between 0 and 1, there's 1, 2, 3 tick marks, but 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces, okay? So the number of spaces is always going to be one more than the number of tick marks. So that means that if I take a whole and I divide it by the 4 sections, each tick mark is a fourth, okay? So this would be 1/4. This would be 2/4, which is the same thing as 1/2, okay? 2/4 simplifies down to 1/2. And then 3/4 would be that one right there. Same thing here, 1 whole, then 1 and 1/4. 1 and 1/2, 1 and 3/4, and then it's the same thing next to the for your negative numbers, -1/4, -1/2, -3/4, -1, -1 and 1/4, -1 and a half, -1 and 3/4. Okay, so you're going to determine the value of each tick mark and determine what two integers the point is between. So for point A right here, I did not mean to cover up that 1, but for right here, it is between +1 and +2. Okay, between +1 and +2. You can also think about money, $1 and $2. And if it's between $1 and $2, that means it's going to be $1 and something. Okay, and again, we've determined that it was 1 and 1/4. Okay. A change of a positive rational number represents increase or gain. A change of a negative represents decrease or loss. So some examples, and we talked about this in the last video. A diver is 15.2 feet below sea level. That represents a negative value. So your negative rational number, your negative number, would be -15.2. Angelica built a treehouse 24 1/4 feet above the ground. That's just +24 1/4. And again, for positive numbers, you do not need to put a plus sign in front of them. Here is practice problem 1. Can you pause the video and figure out which point is at -1 3/4? So remember, we need to figure out, okay, if it's -1 and 3/4, that means it's between -1 and -2. So it's either going to be A or B. We also need to determine how many spaces are between our whole numbers. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That means each tick mark represents a fourth. So B would be -1 and 1/4. The next line would be -1 and 2/4, or -1 1/2. A is going to be -1 and 3/4. Therefore, this is point A. Okay, practice problem 2. Go ahead and pause the video and see if you can figure this out. Frank takes $6.50 out of his bank account. So that's called a withdrawal. Okay, so he took it out. That means the balance of his account went down. Okay, so because of that, we are going to be on the negative side of our number line. And I know that it's going to be between -6 and -7 because it is past -6, being 650. So it is -650. Okay, so I'm going to go to -6, and there's only one tick mark between, which means that they have cut our whole numbers in half. So this is perfect. That is exactly where we would want to plot, right in the middle. And that again is -6.50. Before you leave, make sure you can represent a rational number as a point on a number line, graph a rational number on a number line, and use rational numbers to describe a quantity in a real-world situation. Thanks for watching.